Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Danielle Boyle, and I'll be the host for today's conference. I'm the CEO of ITP Australia, and like many of you, I live with ITP and have done so for a number of years. I'd like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we all gather today. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples that may be joining us today. Welcome. Thank you to everyone for joining us today for the ITP Australia Virtual Patient Conference. While we wish we could have held this event in person, it's also important that the health and safety of everyone participating remains our top priority. By holding this event virtually, we have, however, been able to reach more than 20 countries with over 200 viewers. Welcome to everyone joining us today, regardless of where you are in the world, and we really hope that you enjoy the conference. Thank you to the amazing list of presenters, including leading Australian and international ITP clinicians, for your time and for your effort for pulling together these presentations. Thank you. In addition, I'd like to say a personal thank you to all of our medical advisors. Your knowledge and support help ITP Australia to provide patients with up-to-date and accurate information. Without your time and energy, we wouldn't be able to keep patients as informed as we do. So thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank Novartis Australia for sponsoring our virtual patient conference for 2022. With your support and hopefully ongoing support, we can deliver these conferences on a regular basis, informing our patients of all the latest developments in what's happening in the world of ITP. So thank you. So before we hear from our amazing presenters, I'd like to touch on a few things that ITP has been working on over the past 12 and 24 months. So this includes the regular COVID-19 updates, whether it was information about the virus initially a couple of years ago through vaccines and boosters. We've been really working hard with all of our medical advisors, the TGA and ATAGI to ensure that the information we provide you is accurate and up to date so you can make informed decisions regarding your health. ITP Australia is also a partner of Rare Voices. Rare Voices is the peak body for rare diseases here in Australia, providing a singular voice advocating for those that don't have a voice. With Rare Voices, we participated in a parliamentary inquiry into the approval processes for new drugs and novel medication technologies in Australia a few years ago. It was really important to us at ITP Australia that ITP patients were included in this inquiry, and we were lucky enough to be invited to share our thoughts and concerns with the parliamentary committee in a public hearing nearly 12 months ago. Our aim during this parliamentary inquiry was to raise a number of concerns and issues that we'd heard directly from patients. This included access to treatments like TPORAs ahead of splenectomy and ensuring that the patient voice and the quality of life of patients is always considered as part of the decision making. ITP Australia welcomes the recommendations that were tabled in Parliament late last year. However, we do know that change will take time and it will not happen fast. ITP Australia has also endorsed the recently published Australia New Zealand ITP treatment guidelines. It was really important to us that the patient voice and again, quality of life of patients was included and was part of the decision making when it came to making decisions on patient treatments. And we'd like to say a huge thank you to the working group for all of their effort in developing these guidelines. We will be speaking to Dr. Phil Choi soon with regards to these treatment guidelines. And please know that these are the first treatment guidelines specific to Australia and New Zealand, as we have had to rely on the international consensus guidelines, which have been published over the last couple of years. We've also been working really closely to educate ITP clinicians. Now, we've been teaching them and talking to them about what it's actually like to live with the disease, and not just what they see in that 15-minute, half an hour appointment when we do get to see our clinicians, whether it be weekly, fortnightly, monthly, or every couple of months. We paint a complete picture of the good, the bad, and the sometimes ugly side of ITP, and not just what's happening to us physically, but also mentally as well. And it's also really important that these clinicians understand what treatments and what the side effects of these treatments can do to us on a regular basis. And it's just a matter of ensuring that quality of life is always considered and always part of that decision process when it comes to which treatments should be used and what the treatment plan is. And lastly, most importantly, one of the things that we've been doing and continuing to do over the last couple of years is to talk to you. Whether that be on phone, email, social media, messenger, video calls, hospital visits, you name it, we do it, and we do it on an extremely regular basis. You, our ITP patients, are our main focus, and you are the purpose, you are what drives us. Providing you with the support that you need is the lifeblood and what keeps us going and gives us the purpose to do what we do. Without your support of ITP Australia, we certainly wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much. Okay, that's enough from me. Let's talk a little bit about housekeeping. Now, during each of the presentations today, if you do have any questions, feel free to add a little question into the Q&A button, which you should see here on the screen. We will be collating and reviewing a lot of these questions in the back end of today, and we'll be collating the information and questions for our Q&A session at the end of today. While we know that we won't be able to answer every single question during the Q&A period, if you have any questions that aren't answered, feel free to email us at info@itpaustralia.org.au. Jump on the socials like we know that you can do, or jump on our website as well and jump into the contact us section. Now, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to purchase an ITP awareness pin. This is what they look like. They're just $10, and you can purchase them from our website, itpaustralia.org.au, and help us to raise awareness for ITP amongst your family, friends, and even your colleagues. Now, personally, I actually own a couple because I am a little bit lazy, and I prefer just to keep pins on all of my jackets and a bag here and there as well. And so it saves me taking them off, having to put them back on again. So feel free to jump online and grab your pin if you haven't already done so. Lastly, don't stress, this conference is being recorded. If you miss a presentation, would like to refer back to something, that's completely fine. We'll make sure that we email you information with regards to the recordings so you can view them at another time, just in case you miss anything. So feel free to go back and have a coffee or whatever. So if you miss something, that's no problem.